So the next question, I'm going to jump into it. It's about everybody's talking about Metaverse right now, right? And do you know what Metaverse is?
Yes.
And do you plan to like get into it? Because as architects and designers, we do work with a lot of like 3D structures and like we already have like I think so many 3D done already, right? Like we can put it in the metaverse and start selling it and give land and give property to people. What do you think about it? Like, do you want to ever like enter that field?
Yeah, I think this has become like a really fancy thing as of moment, but we've been into this for the past good 10 years already.
Virtual world
Yeah,
of
we've
showing
been
people, yeah.
into our laptops, into our screens for the past 10 years, 12 years already. This is the transition for the entire world, but we are there. We've been building stuff virtually for possibly the past 15 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
more than that, in
that
college also we started, right?
this technology has been present. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not something entirely new, but yes, it's definitely exciting. Not just because of the monetary point of view of it, but also because you can make clients experience your designs in complete virtual reality, and they can actually walk through the entire design, and you can get not the entire experience, but somewhat of a similar experience much beforehand going into execution. So I think that is something that really excites me. I mean, selling your designs on the metaverse, making monetary profit out of it is something that would eventually happen. A lot of people would get into it.
Cherry on the cake.
Cherry on the cake is always there. But yes, I think just as a client interface, it is something that I'm really looking forward to trying to integrate into our design workflow process at the moment. But yeah, I think it's quite cool. It's something that would be a lot more prevalent in the next possibly 5 years in the industry. Like how at some point of time CAD was transitioned into has been transitioned into like a normal workflow now. Possibly
Yeah.
we'll be seeing these headsets in the next 5 years as a normal workflow into a lot of studios.
A lot of
A lot
studios,
of
yeah.
studios, yeah.
Have you ever tried VR?
VR, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, but not like a complete walkthrough of it.
For architecture, for your work, have you
For
tried it?
architecture, yes, yes. So yeah,
Interesting.
like we've taken panoramas so that you can possibly move your head around inside a headset, but like we are extremely bootstrapped guys, so we can't afford like
Oh yeah, we're
really
all bootstrapped here.
really
We
expensive
understand.
gear. But with time, and
Yeah.
with we would probably be investing into one of those headsets so that we can experience our
At
designs.
least
Yeah,
show that experience to the clients.
definitely.
That's
It's
interesting because I
purely for the
do think,
clients.
yeah,
Yeah,
I do
purely for the
think
client.
interior architecture, that is the next progressive step into it. That people
Definitely.
actually like right now. Also, we're giving them a virtual tour of it without the headsets. Like we're giving actually a 3D tour of everything that we
Exactly.
do, and it's just about time that you put those headsets and you start step into the whole zone rather than like not having it because we have all the back end support. We just need like the front end. So yeah,
Yeah,
if
there should be like
Google,
companies
yeah.
who should be like letting out those headsets on like a project basis to you or
So
something like
companies
that.
out there,
Yeah, please
you
approach
can,
us. Please
yes,
approach us,
we are
guys.
open to taking your
Yeah,
headsets.
yeah. I think clients would be really excited to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
I, I, I imagine myself walking onto a slab, freshly casted slab, and we have to like tape mark all the rooms, okay, to actually explain the clients, okay, this is the size of it and everything. But what really happens, and what I tell my clients all the time, is you cannot ascertain the size of a room till the time it's done.
Of course. 3D doesn't make you see what exactly the room is going to be.
3D, you won't figure out anything. The room itself changes its dimension and perception for the client
Yeah.
till the time it's done.
Yeah. So when you're
So
saying when its slab is cast, उस time पे सब कुछ बड़ा दिखता है. When you actually mark the room, it's small. When the brickwork is done, it's big.
once you do the plaster,
Plaster.
like फिर छोटा हो गया ये room यार एकदम से. And that happens with us also, by the way. Like that happens with me. Recently, I went to a site and I felt this huge room that we've done is actually small. And it's like, no. Let the brickwork come up. we are very much into proportions, and I had to remind myself that we are doing a good job. But yeah, I think as you start uh, engaging more and more technology into
Yeah.
this field, that's actually a good thing. That's always beneficial. There's no drawback to it at all.
I'm still not sure, like, if you do VR or you like get into the room, I don't think you will still be able to understand the real proportions of it.
No, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like in VR, you can walk through the actual
You
proportions.
can walk
You
through
can
it,
walk through
but
the
I don't
actual.
know if you'll still feel actual sense of it. Because I've done VR, like those games and all, and I know how it feels like when they say, walk on that plank and then you have to jump. Those things are interesting because that's fun, but you still can't actually realize the proportion of it in VR. I
Yes,
mean, it feels big or small, but I don't think the actual proportions are so clear.
definitely. Actual reality is always going to be,
Different, right? Because your eyes can perceive so much more together.
because it's not just your eyes. In actual, you're actually perceiving everything through your five senses. You're
Exactly.
perceiving through your eyes, you're perceiving through your ears, nose, touch, not taste that much.
And not licking the floor and walls. Yeah, guys, don't do that at home.
But yeah, like a good design is something that engages all the senses, no? Yeah. So VR would give you some perception of it, but it won't really give you the actual satisfaction of being present into something that has been customized to yourself.
But that can
So
never happen. The real thing cannot be replaced with virtual, I feel. One thing for sure.
yeah, that's something that we've realized for the past couple of years. We've been
Yeah.
discussing that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
uh, virtual is like it's good. But it has its limitations. It won't give you that much satisfaction as something in reality would possibly.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting. I keep thinking about metaverse and all. We have these debates with different designers. We have a lot of designers nearby. So I usually meet them for lunch or like some coffee. And we usually talk about it like, do you actually think like virtual reality could be the step up or this is the step we're going into? But we keep thinking, we've been in that virtual reality zone for a very long time already. Like, architects, interior designer, product designers, they've all been using it for a very long time. So we've been in that, we've been creating those models, but we always know that this is not substitution for real spaces. It is not substitution for touching this leather seat right here. Like that feeling of sitting on a leather and that avaz the sound that it makes, you can't change that. In virtual reality, you sit on a chair, you will not going to feel the same that you're sitting on a leather chair.
Definitely.
So that you're right, the five senses, not the fifth one, not the taste one, but
Yeah, we
yeah.
could be having a beer over here, and the fifth one also would be
Yeah,
engaged. No?
fifth one
Yeah.
being engaged, that's true. Interesting. Okay, so now we come to the second last question, which is
No, actually, want to
yeah.
continue that. Yeah. You know, you were saying like we possibly turned boring, and I would at this point tell you that yes, I've become boring also because now I don't like going to like really really well done up spaces a lot, like because I'm designing them all the time, I'm actually into them all the time, and like I don't like going into crowds and like cafes, like really nicely done cafes, which I would have designed like that.
Yeah.
But I personally don't like spending my time into those cafes anymore. Like, I personally like a more comfortable space.
Yeah.
It can be messy also some point of
Oh
time,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it need not be the neatest thing that I've seen. Like, I've possibly reduced going out a lot in that
yeah.
manner
Same, but I think that's
because
that's like a full generational thing happened, right? Where
I don't
everybody
know.
sort of stopped going out because of COVID, and it's a change people are going through.
I personally feel I don't enjoy going out that much anymore. As much as I'm in my own space, comfortable, and I can have a good time in that space. I think that familiarity
Yeah.
is something that I enjoy much more now compared to possibly something that I am engaged in all throughout my day. So I don't really.
You don't want to go to those fully decked up, beautiful cafes and places which are beautiful to see and sit and
It's not
experience.
something I look forward to.
It's not something you look forward
It's
to.
not like I don't want to go, but it's not something that I'm actively planning for.
Yeah. Nothing impresses me now, I feel.
Yes.
Right? Like that,
Yeah,
nothing impresses
exactly.
you to a point where you're like, oh, I want to go there again. I actually
Yeah.
like going to, I have this one really, I would say, shady place that I go to. There's no
Please tell us.
interiors.
Please tell us. Okay, you can tell me
I will tell
later.
you later. They've not paid me to like advertise them. But it's in Def Call. I think most of the people will know. It's a small bar. Nobody like. There's no interiors. Nothing. It's dingy. It's also smelly. Maybe at some point.
Possibly after 2 drinks in because
Wallpapers are just like निकल रहे हैं सब कुछ
is
टूटा
that
हुआ
that hookah bar over
है
there?
no
No,
no no
no.
not that
Okay.
वो तो बहुत बंद हो गया बहुत
Bando,
पहले
bando.
हाँ
See, yeah, long time I've
it's called
gone.
4S. It doesn't matter. 4S.
Okay.
4S is like a small drinking place. I enjoy that place so much because there's literally there good crowd. People come there to drink only, and drinking is the only thing that you come there for, and you focus on that. You don't see the interiors. You don't care. It's dingy. There's no light coming in. It's like that. Like you're sitting in darkness, drinking beer with like spotlight on you. And you think you're in a police chamber or something, you're having a drink, but it's great. It's cheap, it fits the pocket, and it's fun. It's a fun place to be in, and I think I enjoy those places more than like manicured and beautifully designed spaces because again, nothing impresses me anymore. Anything I see, either I start looking at the details of the interiors or the material and finishes, and I'm like, I need to switch off. My mind is just like on
Yeah.
overdrive right now. So yeah, I do understand that predicament that you're going through. That you can't just go to all these beautiful places and you don't look forward to going there also. Same. I also. That's why I feel we've become boring because
No, like why I'm saying this also is because what interests me more is like for this bar. What interests me more is your story for this bar
yeah,
than the actual bar itself.
yeah, exactly.
Right? Like how possibly a space now interests me more for
The
the
activity you're doing there.
activity and the number of stories and memories that people are building over there
Yeah.
than the chakachak finishes that are there and the chakachak light and everything that is there.
I agree.
mean, okay. I mean, that's something that we are doing actively all the time. That's part of our profession, and all of us are good at it. But it's something much more beyond that has started to actually fascinate me compared to just what the visual aspect of it is. So yes, engaging the five senses is something that really is very different from
Yeah,
possibly just
very
a virtual
different.
world. Yeah.
It's almost like emotional design, right? Like all designs have like this emotion intact to it. So this bar specifically is not made. It's not like they don't make money. I think they make good money. They're in like
They're in
Def
Def
Call,
Call.
yeah, and they've been surviving all bars shut, but they never shut,
Yes,
right?
yes.
The reason they survived is not because they're making it a beautiful place. They're making it a comfortable place for people to come and drink, and that is the only thing that you're supposed to do there. You're not supposed to go there and say, oh, यहाँ पे ये lighting ऐसी क्यों नहीं है, ये ऐसा क्यों नहीं है. You will not even think about those things when you're there. And that's the beauty of that bar. And same thing in these cafes and different places. I think sometimes, of course, designing is great. We love design, guys. We would love to make things beautiful. Sometimes I don't think that is the only criteria which is needed for the space. That could
Definitely.
change. Yeah.
Comfort is something that we personally have possibly started appreciating a lot more than just what it looks like on the face of it. Yeah.
As we get older.
As we get older.
And that is what I feel is bioarchitecture, that you're taking inspiration from an anthill and how it keeps it in extreme hot weather outside, but the anthill inside, the temperature is like 5, 7, 8 degrees lower.
You cannot have a building loaded with plants, but at the same point of time, Italian marble also.
Honestly, we have some great Indian marbles, by the way, like which are as good as Italian, if not better.
We now possibly need to move to something
New materials.
which is a little more hybrid,